You are staring at a ring on your finger right now, or maybe a watch, or a chain around your neck. Somewhere in your life, gold is close by. You barely think about it. But the first time a human being ever picked up a piece of gold, something strange happened in their brain, and that reaction never left you. Your ancestors did not set out to find gold. Gold found them. Long before anyone understood what a metal even was, rivers were already doing the work. Water moving over ancient rock wore stone down into sand, and gold, being heavier than almost everything around it, sank. It collected in the bends of streams. It sat there, glinting, waiting. Someone eventually noticed. Think about that moment. No mining tools, no smelting, no idea that this yellow rock was different from any other rock. Just a person standing in a riverbed, catching a flash of light that did not behave like anything else in nature. Sunlight bounces off water. It bounces off wet stone. But this was different. This did not fade when the light moved. It held its color. It held its shine. That single visual trait, unnaturally consistent brightness, may be the reason gold became valuable at all. Researchers studying infant attention, including work led by developmental psychologist Vanessa Lobu at Rutgers University, have found that humans are drawn to glossy, reflective surfaces from a very early age, often before language, before culture, before anyone could teach a child that shiny things matter. The attraction appears to be built in. Some scientists believe it traces back to a very old survival instinct. Shiny surfaces in nature often mean one thing: water. For a species that spent hundreds of thousands of years worrying about where the next drink was coming from, a reflex that says, "Pay attention to that gleam," was not decoration. It was survival software. So picture it. A Neolithic person walks along a riverbank. Ancient instinct fires. Look at the shine. Could be water. And then they find something stranger than water. Something that does not evaporate, does not soak into soil, does not rust, tarnish, or rot, the way almost every other material they had ever touched eventually did. Wood breaks down. Bone decays. Even other metals corrode over time. Gold just sits there, unchanged, year after year, generation after generation. To a mind without any concept of chemistry, that must have looked like magic. The earliest confirmed worked gold objects in the world come from a burial site in modern-day Bulgaria, the Varna necropolis, dated to roughly 4,600 BCE. Archaeologist Vladimir Slavchov, who has spent decades studying the site, has described the find as staggering in scale. Thousands of gold objects, buried not with the richest farmers or the strongest warriors, but placed deliberately with specific individuals in specific graves. This detail matters more than it seems, because gold at Varna was not tools. It was not weapons. It was not anything that helped a person hunt, farm, or fight. It was pure symbol. Beads, bracelets, small sculpted ornaments, objects that did nothing except mean something. Why would a society 5,000 years before writing, before cities, before the wheel in most of the world, spend enormous effort collecting and shaping a metal with zero practical function? This is where the story stops being about geology and starts being about you. Anthropologist Timothy Taylor, who has written extensively on the origins of value and prestige objects in prehistoric societies, argues that permanence itself was the function. In a world where almost everything decayed, where status had to be constantly rebuilt through action, gold offered something radical. A material that could hold value without decaying. A way to freeze status in physical form and pass it down. Your ancestors were not simply hoarding shiny rocks. They were inventing an idea. The idea that worth could exist independently of use. That something could matter not because it fed you or protected you, but because it represented you. That idea did not stay buried in a Bulgarian riverbank. It became the root of currency, of inheritance, of status symbols, of every wedding ring, every trophy, every gold medal draped around an Olympian's neck under stadium lights, thousands of years later. Here is the part that should genuinely unsettle you. Gold has almost no practical use to early humans. It is too soft for tools, too soft for weapons. It will not hold an edge. It will not survive impact the way flint or bronze eventually would. By nearly every functional measure, gold was one of the least useful materials your ancestors could have chosen to obsess over. And yet, they chose it anyway, because the choice was never about function. It was about meaning. And meaning, it turns out, is one of the most powerful forces your species has ever wielded. Once early humans in one region began treating gold as valuable, the behavior spread with startling speed across unconnected cultures. Ancient Egypt developed extensive gold mining operations along the Nile by roughly 2000 BCE, associating the metal directly with the sun god Ra, believing gold was literally the flesh of the divine. Ancient civilizations in the Andes, isolated from Europe and the Middle East by an ocean, independently developed their own elaborate gold-working traditions, prized for near-identical reasons: permanence, brilliance, and a perceived connection to the divine or eternal. Two civilizations. No contact. Same conclusion. That is not a coincidence you can explain through trade routes or cultural exchange. That is a pattern pointing at something built into human cognition itself. Some researchers studying the psychology of prestige and status signaling suggest that gold succeeded not despite being useless, but because it was useless. A material with no practical function could not be faked through necessity. Anyone could sharpen a stick. Not everyone could acquire gold. Scarcity plus uselessness plus beauty created something new in the history of your species. An object whose entire value came from social agreement. You are living inside that agreement right now. Every time you glance at a gold ring and feel something, respect, attraction, a sense of occasion, you are running a program installed roughly 6,000 years ago in a riverbed in the Balkans. The metal has not changed. Its chemistry is exactly what it was then. What changed is the meaning your species decided to attach to it and then never let go of. Modern neuroscience has even found that viewing gold and other high-status objects activates reward circuitry in the brain similar to other primary reinforcers, the same pathways once shaped by food, warmth, and safety. Your ancestors' invented symbol somehow rewired itself into your biology's oldest reward system. Think about that the next time you catch a glint of gold under bright light, in a jewelry window, on someone's hand, in a photograph of an ancient tomb excavated after 5,000 years underground. The gold inside still gleaming exactly as it did the day it was buried. You are staring at a ring on your finger right now. Or maybe a watch, or a chain around your neck. It looks ordinary to you, but it carries an idea older than agriculture, older than cities, older than almost anything else your species has ever agreed to believe together. And somewhere deep in your instincts, a piece of you is still standing in that riverbed, catching the shine and reaching for it.